We were going to church down by where we used to live, which was about an hour from here. And after we moved here, we continued making that drive every Sunday. And I said to my husband, surely there has to be a church around here that we like. And so we looked on the internet, and we found Grace Church. And what really attracted me to the church was that I saw Kenny Foster's family. And I thought, wow, I said, this family looks a lot like ours. So let's try this church. So we did, and that was in 2005, and we've never turned back.
How far are you from the church?
We live about 10 minutes from here.
Okay. All right. Rich, anything to add to that?
Yeah, and when we first got here, the congregation was very welcoming, and we felt really welcomed. We also noticed that the church itself, sometimes you go into church and they're like, who are these new people? I mean, from the greatest to the smallest came up and welcomed us. We stayed also because we found what we were looking for was a Bible-believing, Bible-preaching church, and that's what Grace gave us.
Was the church when you came like it is today? And if not, how has it changed over those years? How many years has it been, and how has it changed over those years?
We came in 2005, and so we've been here a number of years now, and it has changed since we started coming here. I think there are other races of people and cultures, and I think even classes of people, I would say, that are here now that I didn't notice before in 2005. So I think that's what I've really noticed.
Yeah, I mean, the demographics have really changed. We see different cultures, whether it be the Eastern cultures, Eastern people, the Asians, we see Hispanics, we see blacks, whites. Everybody is, worshiping God together, and that's one of the core principles of the church. The visions of the church is to, preach God's word and to show Christ's love, regardless of race, class, or culture. And I think we're on the right track to destroying those lines that tend to separate us.
And how would you describe what's thought of as the neighborhood or the parish of this church? What kind of mix of people is it in terms of race, socioeconomic?
It's very diverse. I think.
Start with saying that my questions won't be on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
start by saying
Okay.
the community around the church or the neighborhood or something like that.
Okay, so the community around the church and the neighborhood is a very diverse neighborhood. We have middle class, suburban. We have Dover, parts of Dover, which is what would be considered lower income. The racial mix would be diverse also. Caucasian, blacks, Hispanics, Asians. So the Dover area and this area itself is a melting pot because we also have numerous universities, and that tends to bring a very diverse population.
And what do you find challenging about the diversity in the church? Are there things challenging?
Or do you find anything challenging?
Or is it all positive? Are there any challenges, any obstacles to overcome because of it, or what? What's sort of that mix for you?
Me personally, I don't find any challenges. I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I'm not a Native American. I'm from a different culture also, and I've found really no challenges as far as integration into the church, because as I said, I think this church welcomes people on the basis of God's love and not on the basis of man's biases.
You were born in another country?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was born.
Tell us about that.
Okay, I was born in Jamaica, and I grew up in the Cayman Islands, and then I left the Cayman Islands to go to college in Charleston, South Carolina. So, you know, where I grew up was a very diverse culture, so I'm used to that. And we tended, my family, we tended not to look at someone for their outward appearance, but what was in their heart and their, as Dr. Martin Luther King says, the content of their character.
And where did you all meet? You don't want to say it on
Is that
tape.
wrong? Is that wrong question? Aren't you glad you
Okay, we'll pass on that.
We met online, but I don't know if I want you to
Oh, okay.
really put that in there. Because people, you know, okay, can we just cut for a second here?
Yeah, that
No,
might-
no,
that
no.
might be-
Okay, let it go. But
That's
because, you know, people,
Negative stick.
there's a negative stigma with that with
might be the most
people,
controversial
you know?
For PCA audience.
Yeah, you know, so maybe we could just leave that
Leave
out.
that out.
But that's how we met, and I'm telling you, it's been the best thing ever. So people shouldn't frown upon
But
that.
I will say how we met is through God's providence.
Because let me tell you, the story that of how we met and how it all came together, because we were in 2 different states, 2 different places, and we could have never put this together ourselves. So I'm just going to say that. It was God's master plan. I'm going to tell you that. Yep.
Okay. Tell us what do you beyond the core teaching of the church, what else is most important to you about what you experience or receive in the church, and then how are you involved in ministry and giving and loving others then, particularly outside the church as well as within it?
Well, not only do I feel God's love, you know, just so much through the people in this church. I became involved with the Jobs for Life ministry when Pastor Kenny asked me back in 2010. And I have a human resources background, and he just thought that that would be, you know, a good background for the Jobs for Life program. So I started with you know, initially when it got off the ground here in Dover in 2010, and I've been with every class since. And the ministry is just unbelievable. It has brought all kinds of people to the program and through the program, you know, from people who are homeless, from people who have been incarcerated, people who have issues with addiction, people who have lost their children, all different kinds of things. And we could sit here for days and tell you about the stories of people who are clean and sober, people who have a place to live, people who have their children back. Just wonderful stories through God's grace of these folks that have come through the program, and also some of these participants of the program that now have come to Grace Church. So that ministry, whatever we think that we have given to those participants in Jobs for Life, they have given to us 10 times over. So the blessings that we have received from that program are just unbelievable. And I think that was something that I never expected when I joined Jobs for Life. I've never volunteered in a capacity like that before, so I was a little uncertain as to how this was going to go. And I was able to use my human resources skills in that environment with these folks, but in addition to using those skills with them, I was also able to care for them, love them, and you know, by the end of the 16 classes and 8 weeks of that program, you just don't want it to end, because you have really made such a connection with these folks and really just love these people that you don't want it to end. So that has been just a wonderful connection for me, being in Grace Church and getting connected to Jobs for Life. And we're still both involved with Jobs for Life today. It's been wonderful.
In 2 or 3 sentences for somebody who's never heard of it, what is Jobs for Life?
Jobs for Life is a program that is Bible-based, where we teach participants soft skills, interviewing techniques, conflict resolution, character building, and we assist them with resume preparation. We have mock interviews with business leaders. We have resources that come in, and so what it is to give them the opportunity to go out and compete and find a job and to keep a job, and to find a career and keep a career.
And as Rich said, it's all biblically based, because we talk about, people from the Bible, and that's the foundation of the program.
It really is a wonderful program.
It's amazing.
We love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay, what else? What else can you think of along these lines of just your own experience, how the church is engaged with the community, loving neighbors? Anything else you can think of to add?
I think the church engages in the community by different outreaches. For example, we have something called Christmas Store around Christmas time, where we get donations from the members, whether it be monetary donations or toys. And we open a Christmas store, and we heavily discount the items so that people can come in and have the opportunity to buy for their loved ones gifts, and it gives them that self-esteem that they have actually purchased it. And it's like, it goes over like gangbusters. I mean, people are waiting online outside for the Christmas store to open, and it's a great success, and it's a great outreach where we can share God's love, share the love of Christ to those that may not have had the opportunity to see Christ's love in actual action. The church also has outreach for
Kids with
disabilities called Embrace, and I think that is an underserved population as far as the churches are concerned. However, we have the program called Embrace, where there are respite nights where the children are dropped off here. It gives the parents a little break from taking care of their kids, and we have games. We even have quiet time for the ones that want to just be quiet, and it's an awesome ministry, because we love the least of these.
And are most of those families outside the church then that are served?
Most
A lot of them are,
yes.
yeah, most
So
of them.
say that back to me. 'Cause
Okay.
that-
Oh,
that
yeah.
question-
Sorry. Yeah, and most of the families are outside the church, but once again, they have a glimpse of God's love through action, and it might be the seed that gets planted.
And exactly what Rich said, the children will bring things home, or they will say something that they learned at the program, and so the parents hear what they have to say. So it's really pretty neat, Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
There's a lot of programs in this church.
Yes.
There's a lot of wonderful things that they do. When people are ill or sick or have surgeries, they have a program. What is it called?
Touch of Grace.
Touch of Grace, where the ladies or men, they do a lot of cooking and freezing of the food, and they send food over for the people who are, who are sick or have been hospitalized, what have you. We've been recipients of that. It's amazing. I mean, there's just a lot of love in this church. There's really a lot of love.
And just one other thing, I just want to mention one of our participants from Jobs for Life, that he's probably about 6'5", 6'6", with a pink mohawk. So talk about diverse, you know. We love that guy, and so this church really is a y'all come and praise God and
As you are.
worship
As you
the
are.
Lord.
Yep, as you are.
That's good.
Anything else?
Anything else you can think of, Bert? That's excellent.
Yeah.
We don't need to interview anybody else, we're done.